Hello, good afternoon. This is me. Regular. I am at my home now. Been here 10 months. So today I want to talk about, in case you wonder what I'm looking at. This is what I'm looking at. So in case, I want to talk about my awakening. I just breathe. My awakening. Yes, that is what I want to just talk about. Right? My awakening. So, see if I can set this up over here. Should have brought my thing, but I didn't. But whatever. My awakening. It has transpired. In June. You know, my dad always told me that he was a very spiritual person in his spirit time. And I was around 20 something-ish. You know, early 20s. Like, 424, because that's when he passed. You know, and I didn't really understand that. I just brushed it. I was like, okay, Dad. You know? However, my spiritual awakening. Well, it was my spiritual awakening was in June. So June, it's a little windy in case you hear me in June. In June, what? I was on my way back to New York, and on my way going back to New York, I called my aunt's boyfriend, and you know, my aunt had passed away in 2020, and so now he was living at the place that she used to reside. And I said, hey, you know, I'm coming with the children. So at this point, I have 4 children. A baby, which is, he's 10 months now, but in June, he was 5 months. And my son that's in a wheelchair, he's 10. And my toddler that is 4, he's 5 now, but he was 4. And my daughter that was 13. Oh, no, she was 12. She turned 13. So, everybody had birthdays. It's a new year now, so anyway. And I'm ready to go to New York, and I called him, and I said, hey, so-and-so, can I stay at the place, you know? I used to live there. It's my aunt. I used to live there when I went to middle school for like 3 years, and then I used to visit on the weekends when I was a kid, you know? So like he didn't know me, but whatever. Humans are weird. And so I would want to, you know, walk on the ground, but I don't know about that. Let me see. Be one with the earth. Be one with the earth. I'm mostly terrified. I'm not even gonna lie. So he I called him a week and say, hey, I'm coming to New York. Can I come stay? He said, sure, no problem. I called him 3 days before, you know, say, hey, I'm still coming, okay? And so when I called him 3 days before, I said I was going to come as a morning flight, be there at 10 a.m. So I believe I called him the night before, but whatever. I got there. That morning. Got there that morning. And when I got there, I called him and I said, hey, we're here. And he's like, okay, I have a doctor's appointment. I'll be back at 2. So now I'm like, I wonder what I got to do till 2 o'clock, mind you. Being that it was a flight. My son has been in a chair, his wheelchair now, since 6 a.m. No, 5 a.m. because, he had to be in a chair. But let's just call it 6. Right? Until he didn't get a chair until 10. Okay? Let's just put that there. However, so he said at 2 that he'll be back. So I said, okay, I'm going to take a cab to the house and then just wait. Because my aunt had a laundry room on the first floor, like when you enter. I'm just going to roll my son in there, roll the baby in there. And, my daughter and my toddler could, probably go in and out. They have a park on the side, but when I was a kid, it was open. Now it just looks like deserted. I don't know. So we're there. So we got to my house like around, I don't know, let's say 12. So I'm like, okay, or 11, 12, 11. I'm like, okay, 2, he should be at like 2:30, right? So let's pause right there and rewind back. So now, the trials and tribulations. When I went to the airport, I said that my son was in a chair for 6. I had to book a hotel next to the airport because I live an hour away, and it's literally an hour. Nope. It's an hour and 20 minutes to be exact. So give and take, it depends on how traffic and how people drive or not. This is the South, so, it's not. However, so I said, okay, I am going to book a hotel. I'm going to book a hotel, and everything is gonna, be all right. So, now I didn't have any money with me. I had $100, right? So to the airport, it was $90 one way because I live an hour and I don't drive. Of course, I just moved here to this place and I had to go back, to New York to finish business. Well, some things had went down. So, which is also a part of that journey. So, yeah, I went to the hotel. I booked it. We spent the night, got up. Now, the first discrepancy was me and one of my children was on a 7 p.m. flight. And the other 2 was on a 7 a.m. flight. Whatever, vice versa. Because remember, I told you it was in the morning. Which is strange as hell. Now, it's crazy because I called 2 days prior to me flying out, and I had to put on my baby because, mind you, I have a 5-month-old, so he's a lap infant, and I put him on, and I had to link the other booking with mine because there are 2 minors on it. Can't fly by myself unless you pay $100 extra fee. But I'm going, so that doesn't matter. So, what happened? I get there and they're like, well, I'm thinking I can't book because, I can't get to the airport, like, print out my pass itinerary, what the hell it's called, because the baby's on it. So I'm like, let me go to the desk. Then that's when they told me, oh, yeah, well, the reason why it's not printed out is because 7 in the morning, 7 at night. And I'm like, are you serious? Okay, whatever. She's like, we're going to have to rebook you. I said, no, you're kidding me, right? He said, no. So come back tomorrow, and, everyone is booked tomorrow. So at this point, I only had $50 to stay another night at the hotel. No, actually, yeah, $50 to stay at a night hotel. And I said I was going to get money the day after, like I get there. So I'm like, shit, I only got $100. So I spent $50 for the hotel. I had to get there to the hotel. Luckily, Uber was so gracious enough to, like, give me a free ride because I'm a loyal customer. They have lots of my money. And, the hotel had a airport service to come back in the morning, so I was good, right? I get to the hotel, and they're like, there's a $50 deposit. I'm like, wow. So I'm prepared to tell my kids that I can't eat. But being I'm a mom, I have to think, right? So now I have zero money. So I called up my cousin. I'm like, listen, let me borrow $50, like, because I have no money, and I'm on my way to New York, and I ain't getting paid tomorrow. She like, okay. No, she said, I'm going to see if I have it or not. Now, 99.999% of people know what the fuck they got in their bank. They know. Anyway. So I said, okay. So as she hung up the phone, I'm like, wow. I guess I'm going to just tell my kids, you know what? We just stuck it out till tomorrow morning. We going to be in New York. You know what I'm saying? In less than a few hours. So it was okay. That time was like 10, but whatever. So I said, okay. But she called me before I was about to tell her. I was like, oh, I sent it. Or texted me. I was like, okay, cool. So now, okay, remember that part, right? She gave me the $50. So I bought my kids McDonald's, and when we ate, I stayed up all night because I can't take a morning flight and sleep and then get up early. It's just not my thing. It's not going to work out. So I don't get any rest. So, I try to lay down, but, 4 kids, yeah, it's not working. It's whatever. So, I didn't get any rest. So now back to me being in New York in my aunt's place in the, wash and dryer area on the first floor. So I called my aunt's boyfriend, and I told him that I asked him, like, hey, it's minutes to 2, you still ain't wait, right? And he's like, yeah. I was like, okay, well, Mini Kids is here. So he's like, oh, you wanted to stay? Oh, no. Remember I told you they was moving and stuff? Which he did mention that they had boxes up, or they had to renovate, the bathroom and the kitchen. Okay. Doing little upgrades, right? He mentioned that. And I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, but y'all can't stay because, it's like a lot of things moving and situating. And so now it's minutes to 2, and he tells me this. Why didn't he tell me this 3 days ago when I called him? Or the morning when I got the flight? So now I'm like, wow, that's crazy. So then I called my child's father. My child's father that his son is in a wheelchair, right? Our son is in a wheelchair. I said, hey, we've been here since 10 a.m. Your son been in the chair since 6, and could you come get your kids? Basically, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll go about my business. But then he's like, oh, who's going to watch the kids? Blah, blah, blah. At that point, I don't care. My son needs to lay down. He's been in a chair for too damn long. So he's like, oh, I'm having some issue right now. Somebody just took $900 out of my bank. So his brain is just far gone. And I'm just like, I just told this man that his child that's in a wheelchair been in the chair for a long time. And he's talking about his money discrepancy. So he was like, let me call you back. So he hung up the phone. Now I'm thinking like, what the hell am I gonna do? Are we really homeless in New York? Well, the next thing is like, you know, let me pause right there for a minute. So I have a best friend and I have another friend. My best friend, you know, asked her before if I could stay at her house, and she was like, you know, this is not my house. So this time I was prepared, but this was like weeks before I was coming, because I told her I'm coming to New York. I'm like, yo, ask your mother, because it's your mother's house, but we've been best friends for like 25 years. Ask your mom if I could stay at your house. She was like, okay, but then she never got back to me. So I said, okay. Then my other friend, who stays, you know, in New York, I'm like, hey, I'm coming to New York. You know, I'm getting off the airport that's near your house. Can we stay? And she's like, oh, well, where's your son? You know, with the wheelchair is gonna sleep. He needs to be comfortable, and you know, things of that nature. So I was like, okay. And it's just so interesting that, you know, when she had things going on, I was there for her. You know what I'm saying? She had nowhere to go. But, you know, it wasn't like a flat out, yes, you could come. You know what I'm saying? It was more of like beating around. You know, it's just, and I'm not forcing myself on anybody. Can't. I'm not doing that. I don't have that. It's a no for me. So I said, all right. Now, back to me being at my house. So my boyfriend comes along, and I'm outside thinking about what the fuck am I gonna do? Okay, well, bing, we gotta go to the shelter because we have nowhere to go, and I'm only staying here for like literally 2 weeks, right? 15 days, or it's 14. 14 days, actually, 14 days. Yes, 2 weeks, 14 days. So now, I'm like, okay. Mind you, I already got what I got. Took a cab to my aunt's house from the airport. That was probably like $50, $60. Right? And then now it's a little nippy. Now I don't want to get sick. Can't believe this is South End. I forgot to put deodorant on. I have to take a shower. It's crazy. And I have to go to the Bronx because that is where the main shelter is in New York. And luckily I'm from New York, so I know where to go. Right? Or how to maneuver. I can't get on a train with my child with the wheelchair and a baby and a toddler. This ain't gonna work. So I gotta get a cab. So mind you, I had to break down my son's wheelchair. The baby's stroller had to go in the car. And our luggage. We didn't have that much luggage, but you know, it's 5 of us.